Hi and welcome. My name is Monir Lachane. I'm a parent and couples coach. I support families to transform and recover their relationships by understanding each other's behavior and needs, and most of all, learning the skills of how to effectively communicate to those behaviors and needs. So today we're focusing on the child. And we're talking about back to school meltdowns and meltdowns in general. See, back to school is one of the most stressful times for kids. We saw tears last week amongst all the emotions of excitement and pride. We also saw lots of tears on the socials. We saw the not so happy faces, and some of you might have heard questions such as, "I wonder whether my teacher will like me. I wonder whether I will fit in." All those unknown areas of new schools, the unknowns of going into new classes, new grades, new teachers, meeting new people for the first time. I'm a toddler being left with strangers the whole day, and I don't know when my mother will come back for me. For some, having to go through the courageous process of going back to the same grade, of having to deal with embarrassment. And for some, really, the pressure that comes with being at school, the difficulties, the structure. For some kids, that's not them, and they just don't enjoy the pressure and the difficulties, the structure, the routines that come with it. Therefore, all of these things bring up emotions of anxiety, overwhelm, and distress. And therefore, that's why we saw the tears, the not so happy faces, and the questions that we might have heard. All of these are messages and communication that they are not doing well. They're facing difficulties. So moments of anxiety, so we call that moments of anxiety. And when they spill over into the tears, then that's when it's a moment of a meltdown. Everything's just coming out. And these are critical, they're big moments for both the child and the parent, because the child relies heavily and totally 100% on the parent to support them regulate back into balance and find relief. Because as toddlers at that age, even into teenagers, although for teenagers at a different level, they don't yet have a developed ability to self-regulate. They don't know how to help themselves out of these big feelings that they're feeling. And to make it worse, they also don't yet have a developed ability to articulate what it is that they're feeling so that they can get the help. So they rely 100% on the parents. And so in those moments, how we respond and react to them is of critical importance. However, what I observed, and it is where we usually go as parents, is most of the time we respond in ways that are not effective, in ways that increase the overwhelm and just serve to pour petrol on the fire. So responses like shouting back at the child and putting pressure on the child to get on with the program, rushing them through the process. I saw some way the child was being pushed as they were reacting out, trying to reason them out, creating an audience for them, laughing at them. All of those things create an even bigger overwhelm and anxiety within them. And that's why we saw some of the kids totally spilling out of emotional meltdown, and they spilled into rage, into screaming, into fighting. I saw one where the child was just pouring sand all over their body. That's a total meltdown, right? They did not get the help that they needed. For some, we respond in ways that, to those sad faces and those questions, we respond in ways that leaves the child incomplete. We leave them still feeling overwhelmed and felt abandoned in their emotions and they don't know how to work with them. Therefore, we leave them in fear, in anxiety, and therefore, where will they go? they will go inside. You know, they will go inside. They will retreat inside. So, and please understand me, this is no blame to us parents. It's things that we are not taught. It's things that unfortunately don't come intuitively, it's things that we must learn and things that we must be taught. So today I want to share with you effective ways to support children when they are going through an anxiety moment and going through a meltdown. So the first thing to understand is that as a parent at this point, you step in as a helper. And the number one helping strategy is listen. Stop and listen. And how do you listen? You listen by staying close to them. Keep them close. What do I mean by keeping them close? So when you get, let's say, to crash or to school and you can see there's this moment that's about to bubble up, take that moment and step back and keep them close to you. Go down to their level. Look at them and pay warm attention to them. If it means giving them a hug and acknowledge what they're feeling, keep to their heart and acknowledge what they're feeling. If it means that you remain in standing, but you give them a hug and acknowledge what they're feeling, that I understand right now it's a difficult moment for you. I understand. Don't try to fix them. Don't try to rush them. Create a safe space for them to feel that I am understood, I am safe, I can trust this process. And talk them through the process. Once you've hugged them and you've created that sense of comfort, then you say, now I'm going to hand you over to teacher. And I'll see you in the afternoon. So listen to them, and you listen to them by staying close to the child, by acknowledging what they are feeling, no preaching to them, no rushing them. And don't walk away from them. Please don't walk away from them as they are crying and they're holding out their hand for you and saying, Mommy or Daddy. Stand there. That's what staying close to them means. And paying warm attention. Stay with them up until they walk away and disappear with the teacher. And lastly, guys, preparation is key. Preparation has never failed anyone. Let's prepare the kids at home. Let's talk about going to school. Let's talk about what's going to happen. In the car, let's hype it up. When we park, yay, we are at school. We're going to get off now, and I'm going to give you a big hug. I'm going to hand you over to teacher, and I'll see you when I come back, and it's going to be a goodbye. It's going to be a goodbye, right? It's going to be a goodbye. And just keep them close. Pay close attention. Warm attention. Don't rush them. If you need to, arrive early so that you're not rushed by the school program. And allow them that moment. Allow them what is happening for them. So what I just shared with you now, we call basic helping tools. The first place that you go to as a helper when a person is going through a meltdown, even with adults, when a person is experiencing emotional difficulties, the one and most valuable thing that you can do for them is to stop and listen and pay warm attention to them. And that's what will help our children and prevent them from spilling totally over into meltdowns. And support them to end up feeling bad about themselves, and feel that they are safe, that they are understood, that you understand what they're going through, and you support them through soothing and getting back into balance and managing their anxiety. Thank you for watching. What I did not address in this video is those moments of sad faces and questions. How do you respond to them? There you would need to bring on another layer of listening. And if you would like to know more about that next layer of listening, and if you're interested to be that helpful helper for your child, that you want to master holding space for your child's emotions, for your child's anxiety and overwhelm, to communicate the language of acceptance for whatever it is that they're going through, that they don't feel judged, they don't feel misunderstood. And I must stress that this is where most of the time, if not 100% of the time, I find conflicts and disconnects when it gets to teenage age. It happens here. Us not mastering to hold space for them, not mastering how to listen to them when they're going through difficult moments. So if you'd like to be that parent that is a helpful helper, please do join me in the first module of my parent effectiveness course on the 16th of March. You'll find all the details below. I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to hosting you in my workshops. Thank you.